Good morning. I cleaned my fish. I did some heavy water changes and my tanks look excellent. So I thought it was time to give you a bit of an update about what's going on with my tanks. This is my main tank, my display tank. I've currently got loads of electric blue Acara. I've got the mum and dad. They've been moved back in here because they just kept breeding and laying eggs over and over again. So I couldn't get rid of them. I had that many babies. I ended up with getting rid of about 250 of them, selling them to local shops and things. My dogs are coming over to say hello to me, so forgive me for the camera wobbling a little bit. This is Hamish, and this is my little darling. Say hello, Ginny. It's Ginny. Ginny's a Patterdale Terrier, Jack Russell mix, and Hamish is a Patterdale Terrier, and he's a little knobhead, but we love them both very much. Anyway, that's the fishes. So, where was I? He's predominantly electric blue Acara. There's about 10 clown loach in there. As you can see, the clown loach hang out underneath this mangrove type branch. And I've got some Colombian Tetra, which I've had for about 6 months now, and they're great. They're a great mix with these lot. And I suppose 3 months ago, I bought something called it will be easy for me to say, but I'll give it a go, a Nicaraguan cichlid. And the colours on these, I was watching them last night, they are pretty fish, but I believe they grow quite big. But I have got a master plan. All my tanks, I've got fish in, which I'm hopefully going to grow out and get a bigger tank eventually. Probably have to trade one in because the electricity bill's crazy. But yeah, there you go. There's Mama and Dad. If I put them in a tank, I would have babies within 3 weeks again. They lay so many eggs, it's untrue. Right, I'll move on. So, if I go on to my next tank, I have got lots of plants growing at the top, which helps take all the nitrates, I think, nitrates or out of the water. I'll just go back to this. I don't have real plants in my tank. I know people might frown upon it, but every real plant I ever spend money on dies. The only real plants I've got are the plants growing out of the top of this tank. And I don't get much sun this side of the house, so the blinds will be open in a minute when I film the video, but they are growing. This started off tiny, like 6-7 months ago, and I think it's got 6 leaves on it with the number 7 coming through, and I think I started with about 3 leaves. So that one's doing really well. This one grows very slowly. This one I bought, and it's got pretty leaves, but it grows so slowly. So there's a mixed bag in there. I've got to find some other system out because they're growing, and I need to I don't know. I've got to find a system out which supports them in the water a bit better. So this was my electric blue Acara breeding tank. As I said before, I'll just take a wide lens. This was my breeding tank. I kept, I think, about 16 of the babies, which are all in here. But I think they had a second lot of babies while the first lot were growing out, because some of them are tiny and some of the babies in there now. There's a baby, he's huge. So I've kept them. I think they're a cool fish. I still have an eBay store with them for sale. If they go, they go. If they don't, they don't. I've got six clown loach in there. And I have got a really pretty Severum, an orange Severum, and a chocolate cichlid. And the chocolate cichlid's approximately 5 inches, and the Severum, I want to say, is about 4 or 5 inches. I wasn't loving this tank until I bought these plants and put them in yesterday. They're like a bamboo, like artificial plant. Someone I know put me onto them. They're not expensive. They're not cheap, but I think they've given that tank a new lease of life. And finally, well, not finally, I've got 2 other tanks. I've got my Oscar tanks. And here we go. If you go back to previous videos, you see I got them when they were wee little babies. Now, about 5 inches. Obviously, they've got a lot more to grow, and a bigger tank will be provided when the time comes. They do have a couple of skirmishes with each other, which I'll try and get on camera one of the days and put it on. They sort of bite at each other's mouths. But I've had a couple of Oscars before that didn't get on, but I got rid of them in the end. But I just love Oscars, and I definitely love these Oscars. The colouring on them is epic. So yeah, that's my Oscar tank. I've got another one of those plants that I've got in the other 2 tanks. I'm probably going to get 2 or 3 more because I love them. They're really pretty. So I'll just take a backdrop to see what they all look like from my view. There's my 3 tanks. I think I've said before, that's a 300, that's a 300, that's a 250 litre. So I do about 80% water changes every 10 to 14 days. And finally, the wife's tank, which is, I don't use lights for this one, which is our axolotl called Lottie. We did have 2 axolotls, but the other one became vicious and bit Lottie's arm off. Lottie's arm has now grown back, and the other one was given to someone I know at work. But there you go. Again, I do 80% water changes in there, so the water's nice and healthy. And that's the end of the update. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, please.